Okay, guys, how you guys doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good, good. First of all, thank you for joining the Seven Figure Moving Academy. I really, truly appreciate that.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt your video, but I just wanted to talk to you about how you can make 30, 40, $50,000 in the next 30 days. That's right. 30 to 40, $50,000 in the next 30 days. All you have to do is follow very certain precise directions and strategies, and you could be making up to $50,000 in the next 30 days. Almost guaranteed. Now, how are you going to do that? You're going to join the Seven Figure Moving Academy membership group, and you're going to have access to everything that we have inside the membership group. This includes documents, this includes contracts, this includes terms and conditions, this includes credit card vouchers, waivers that you will actually be able to use to protect your business, as well as you will be able to network and communicate with some of the biggest and most profitable moving companies in Canada and the United States of America. So these people are there to help you make your business bigger and better than you ever imagined. And I'm there too. You will also have immediate and 24/7 access to me via this group anytime that you have a question. All you have to do is use the group. Now, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not, hey, you just do this, plug and play, and you can sit back on your couch and smoke a blunt or something. No, 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 no. This is you actually having to get up off of your derriere and go and do something. But by doing these very easy 1, 2, 3 steps, you could literally make an extra $30, $40, $50,000 to your business income if you follow these specific strategies. I invite you to come to our membership and become a member. Now, we have annual membership and we have a monthly membership. If you take the annual membership, you'll save a lot of money. If you do the membership access, it's less than $1.50 a day. I mean, you can buy coffee from a gas station for less than that. Okay, so guys, go to sevenfiguremovingacademy.co/membership to find out how you can become a member of the Seven Figure Moving Academy and join the 7FMA family. Thank you, guys. Now back to your video.
And I was really, really happy to hear about your story. And that's kind of why we're doing this. One, you wanted to have it, but two, I saw what Karsten wrote when you joined the group, and that was really impressive. You now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys started this last year in January, this business?
Correct. Our LLC was formed 1/1/21.
Okay. All right. Awesome. And from what you said, you made $250,000 roughly between then and now.
Yes, between our Square, SML, and Hire Helper, I think it was about 245,000 revenue.
5,000 short of $250,000. That's truly, truly, truly impressive. I gotta know, how did you do it? Well, first of all, what made you decide you guys are going to team up and become moving laborers?
I guess I'll go ahead and take this one. Actually, first and foremost, I am just going to say I am a little nervous. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to kiss ass or anything, but it's like truly an honor and privilege to be doing this right now. I kind of feel a little starstruck because I watch all your videos and they've been just a tremendous help. So I really I thank you for sharing everything you have shared, for free. You've given a lot of valuable information that really helped us out a lot. So again, thank you. But yeah, we started up. I've been moving for about 3 years. I was working for my buddy's labor only company for about 2 years. Me and one of the other guys kind of talked about starting our own thing. We went to go start it together. Didn't work out with him. I approached my sister on this. She's my little sister. We're close. I figured she'd be a good candidate. She's definitely a lot more responsible than I am when it comes to like money and stuff. So, you know, I've kind of always been a knucklehead, so she's got a good head on her shoulders. So I approached her and I knew I could do something with it. You know, we could do something with it. So like we teamed up, got the LLC formed, and honestly, like I knew nothing about running a business. I know how to move furniture. I consider myself a good mover. You know, I love doing it, but yeah, the whole business side is just, you know, I'm learning as I go, and most of it came from your videos. I came across your videos and just, you know, was watching them nonstop. um, you know, started out where it's just me and my one buddy running all jobs, and we ended up getting crews. And you know, I knew nothing about like SEO or anything like that. From my understanding, all the other like moving companies, they all use the third parties, Hire Helper, Moving Helper, SML, all that. So I thought that's how you got work. You know, then you know, as I was watching more of your stuff, you know, I realized about like Google and SEO. And buddy of mine actually, you know, a good friend of mine, he's a real nerdy dude, knows all stuff with like, you know, like Bitcoins, and just like he made our website and all that. And, you know, he was reading up on SEO, and he did our SEO for us and made our website. And, you know, after that in York, we're in the top 3 for, you know, York moving companies in our area. So that helped us out a lot. But yeah, mostly it's been, man, like I would say like I watched a lot of your videos religiously. I try and network with other company owners. Me and her team, we communicate well together. She handles a lot of the phone, emails, all that. I kind of handle the guys, the jobs. You know, I don't know, trying to switch off, but yeah, I don't know. That's a little bit of it.
All right, awesome. That's great. That's great. So now you got your own website, right? How much are you charging for a basic move?
So for hourly, we just so we started out 100, 140, 180, 2-man, 3-man, 4-man. We just bumped them to, well, we bumped it up $5 during the summer, and we just recently bumped them up again $5. So now we're charging 110 for a 2-man, 150 for a 3-man, and then 190 for a 4-man.
Okay. And where does that stand for other companies of like other moving laborers in your area? Are you guys at the bottom? Are you guys in the middle? Are you guys at the top? Where are you guys at?
Honestly, I mean, we've been hearing from a lot of people that we're on the lower end, so that's why we started upping them. I know my buddy he used to work for charges, you know, 120, 160, 200, I believe. I still felt like it was competitive, but it seems like prices are kind of going up, because I know a couple of years ago, you know, when I started, that was like the norm, and now it's, you know, we're being told by customers like we're, you know, the cheaper end. Or not cheaper, but, you know, a little bit on the lower end. I feel like the prices are still competitive.
Some of the customers say we're more affordable than the others. So that's what we've put on, a definitely more competition, I feel like, because a lot of people come to us and say, hey, you guys are a little bit more affordable. And then they you know, take us up on it. But, you know, we have to keep up with times too. Everything's going up, is more expensive. So we're gradually going up. We did go up over in the summer. I was like, we should go up $20, and then we didn't get any bites. So then we brought it back down. Like, okay, gradually, been kind of playing with the prices.
Okay. So if that's some great feedback right now. If the customers are saying that you're at the lower end, right? Then that's a good indicator that you do need to raise your prices.
Correct.
Make sense? I'm not
Absolutely.
saying you have to be at the high end, right? But you should at least bring them up so that you're more of the middle end. Does this make sense?
Absolutely. Okay. Actually, I watched one of your videos actually, because then when me and her spoke, I remember you saying that just gradually go up, you know, instead of doing a drastic change, you're like, all right, just bump it up $5, you know, if hourly, bump it up 5, you know. And I remember you saying just keep doing that, or like a percentage.
Yeah. When I was talking with Stevens to be an agent of their van line, and I was talking with Maury Stevens, he would tell me how they did it. And they did it like pretty much every quarter. They were raising the prices up 2 or 3%. right? And that's a lot better. I mean, some companies can get away with just ripping off the Band-Aid and just doing it all at once. I think that sets you up for failure and sticker shock for your past customers, right? But it's really up to you. You guys do you, but definitely it does sound like you need to raise your prices up, right? Especially with what's going on. Did I lose you there, Karsten?
Yeah, you kind of froze. I could still hear you. You're frozen right now.
Same with you. You're kind of frozen.
Okay. I can still hear you though.
Okay, very good. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good idea to start raising. I mean, not like huge amounts right away, but maybe a little bit more than the $5 increments, maybe $10 increments. I mean, you can always come down. You can always bring it back down.
Yeah.
But definitely do that. Now, are you guys profitable? Are you guys actually in the black versus being in the red?
So that's another thing. So to be honest, like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like what we've been talking about this now that we have to like crack down on our numbers. Because to be honest, like I'm not really keeping track of all that. I mean, we got our QuickBooks, we're logging stuff in. I noticed, because I'm hearing other company owners talking about like labor costs, that it should be about like 33%. I looked at what our percentage is and we're paying labor like 40% for our laborers. In my opinion, because I come from nothing, so like, yeah, like we're profitable where I'm like, okay, I've never made this much, working any job, and I'm single though, but I'm making good money where I've been able to, we've been able to get some work gear, like a trailer, some work vehicles, other kinds of supplies and all that. But I noticed we're also a little I know we gotta just kind of look at our numbers and budget a little bit more, because I do a lot of stuff where like I'll just blow money on Google ads, but I really don't know what the ROI is on it. So, we get a lot. I put them on, I'm paying $500 to $1,000 for running Google ads. But most of the time we're getting calls is for people looking for other services from Google, like when they on the ad. So I don't know how much we're getting back. We're not really asking like, hey, how did you find us? Most people just say Google. So I don't know if they mean like, Google ads or, they just search movie companies. But I mean, I've definitely acquired things I never had before, but I know we could be a lot more profitable when we actually like look at our expenses and budget a lot better.
So whose job is it to do the finances and the budgeting and so on? So is that yours, Karsten, or is that yours, Alex?
It's supposed to be mine. Carson's a little bit better with the numbers, though. I feel like he knows how to plug everything in. But when it comes to taxes and stuff like that, that's more something where I step in and take care of that.
Okay. There is a book, Alexandria, I want you to get and read. And I wanted this book to be your Bible. Okay? This book right here.
CFO. Okay.
I'm gonna write it down right now too. 60-minute CFO. And is this on the Facebook page too, Jay?
It's not on the Facebook page, but I did.
Okay.
I did do almost a 2-hour podcast with the author of this book, David Dury.
Okay.
So if you go to Moving Company Mentors on Spotify or any of those podcasts, you can find my podcast.
Yes.
And,
okay, cool.
Or you could go to the link in any video that I have, any of my recent videos. I have a link to my podcast, and you can find the podcast from there and check out the podcast. But this book,
awesome.
Alexander, should be your Bible. It sounds like you guys got a great system going, which is I lost you again, Karsten. Can you still? Okay.
I can still hear you. You're just frozen, Jay.
Okay. Good. This should be your Bible. And you should read it, understand it, apply it. Okay? Because it sounds like you guys got a great dichotomy and you guys got a good organizational board, which is awesome. So now let's fine tune that a little bit with actual company descriptions and actual company responsibilities. So I need you guys to actually start figuring that out since we're in the slow period. Take the time, get together, go to each other's places, and then write it down and go, okay, my responsibilities are going to be blah, 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 right? My responsibilities are blah, 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 right? And you just lay them all out, right? And figure out that org board. And a great book for you, Karsten, is a book called Traction. Let me see if I've got that right on here.
Okay.
No, it's probably in my other room. I think so. There's a great book.
You said one more time, you kind of cut out.
I said a book that I really want you to understand and follow is called Traction.
Traction. Okay. So Traction. And who is the author?
I don't got it right here. Hang on, let me do a Google search.
Okay.
Just do a quick Google search. It's by Gino Wickman.
Gino Whitman. All right.
Wickman. W-I-K-M-A-N. Wickman.
Okay, got it.
Right, and that's basically going to, if you follow if you read those books and you apply them, that'll give you a good foundation more than what you guys got now. Okay. One thing that obviously that you said about the SEO, if Alexandria is ahead of the budget, she should be doing the budget for the Google, right? Taking that off of your plate. Okay. That's if she wants to do it. That's really dependent on me. But her thing is more of the logistics, organizational field, while yours is more of the operations. Does this make sense?
Absolutely.
So organizationally, it would be Alexandria handling the finances for the Google ads. You guys could get together and do the marketing because no one's really handling marketing. But when it comes to finances, now let me give you a name. His name's Travis. Travis Weathers. Travis Weathers from Rotate Digital. Now,
Rotate Digital.
Right. He has an SEO company and he also does Google ads. And he really has that down pat when it comes to Google ads. And this will help you, one, streamline so you're not getting the bad keywords, because what's happening is you're getting a lot of people talking about services you don't do. That's because it's in what's called negative keywords. And negative keywords you want to filter out. And Travis and his team will know how to do that. Okay?
Awesome.
So go and talk to them. You're going to probably, because you are going to be using the service, you're going to be probably paying right around the same amount that you're paying currently.
Okay.
But you're paying a lot because you're spending on, no offense, crappy keywords.
Yeah, absolutely.
And who's the little guy, Alexandria? Who's that?
My son, Eli.
Eli, how you doing, Eli?
He's the one that was making all that noise in the background.
Okay, totally okay. That's awesome. You eat the stick. There you go. Enjoy that. Okay, good. So you guys are doing really great. I mean, truly. Now, how are you? What you're in doing the labor? Are you using any third-party services to promote the business?
Just simple moving labor and hire helper. And then mostly a lot's been on Facebook. We post on Facebook daily. I'm kind of in a huge network out here and I know a lot of people. So, every time I post like our business post, I post on Facebook. I got multiple friends posting it as well. Post it to like all the groups and all that. Like all the group pages, like where it's like York County, Harrisburg, all that. I do daily posts and so mostly been doing a lot of organic too. I know even one of the videos I watched, I was surprised was the marketplace ones where, I put out like professional moving services where people are like searching for like, homes for sale or for rent. And believe it or we have gotten, I was surprised on how many jobs we got doing that.
You watched that video about doing the marketplace on Facebook. The video on
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Free Facebook ads. Yeah.
Are you applying that video, the techniques and strategies in that video completely?
I felt like I felt like I was. I kind of just watched it a couple of times. I felt like I did it correctly. You know, I would put like 300 or 400 just for the moving services and just pretty much get them to message me. And once they messaged me, you know, we just went from there.
You're doing the Facebook marketplace and getting a lot of ads. Okay. That's awesome. You could also, there's a new thing now, you can actually do sponsored ads in the Facebook marketplace too. That might be something you might want to check into and do it. Are you guys sending out postcards at all?
No, we are not. And I've definitely heard a lot about that. And I definitely wanted to learn more about that and possibly maybe wait. I don't know. It was definitely something I planned on in the future, but I wanted to learn more about it and all that. Okay. But I hear from a lot of companies are like postcards, you know.
Postcards are great. I mean, when I did my postcards were the best thing I ever done. I started out with moversleads.com, and they did a really great job. And then as I built my budget up, I went to usahomelistings.com and did it that way. When you do it, you know, there's a bunch of advice on my videos about postcards. Start there, learn about it, and then, you know, you can come to the group and ask about how to do that. But that is definitely
awesome.
And you'd really want to start it just before moving season begins. Okay. It's going to take 30 to 60 days for it to really ramp up, right?
Gotcha.
But that is definitely something. So that's awesome. So you're doing really good with the marketing. You got the SEO going.
For sure.
So that's great. Now, I saw when you just joined the group. Thank you again. And I saw that you showed that you were networking with other movers, and that's awesome. What about networking with other movers is great, but what about the other areas like real estate agents, mortgage brokers, things like that, at regular normal businesses out in the field? Are you doing any networking as far as that goes?
So I definitely got to do a better job on networking with them. I know we've had a few relationships, believe it or not. Like I probably know about 5 realtors personally, you know, that are friends of mine. So like, but you would think I'd maybe like reach out to them more. I've given, you know, I know whenever we do anything with a realtor, we give them cards. I know a few realtors have referred us. We did a job, you know, we just did a job recently, which was a big one for a realtor. You know, kind of same thing, just she asked us for a bunch of cards. But yeah, I could definitely be doing a better job on probably networking with the realtors though. And, you know, because I know there's this one company, a buddy of mine's in, they've thrown us a few jobs. I don't know. They've probably thrown us about like 5 to 10. I don't know. Well, they've thrown us a few, but they usually work with another moving company. So I guess they have a contract with 10. They did approach me in the beginning, seeing if we were willing to do a deal, because they have this deal that they do for their customers where they pay for like $1,000 of their customers' move. And, you know, usually
that's a marketing thing. Basically, you pay them $700, $800, $1,000. They stick them in a little packet that they have, and they give them out to everybody that moves. It can be good. My experience is it was kind of a hit or a miss, but you need to track it. And a good way to track it is by every place that you do something like that with, is you go get a trackable phone number. And it's just basically a phone number that you go to this company, they give you these phone numbers. They can be 800 numbers or local numbers. And then what it does is it actually tracks the number of phone calls you get to that particular number. And it forwards to your regular normal business number. Nobody's aware of the difference. So if they call that number, you get the call immediately. They don't know that they called a different phone number. But then you could see the statistics of how many people called that.
Okay, so you would do that with maybe like, say, like Google Ads with realtors, with like whatever. So you get a different one for each one. Yep. So then that way you're able to track where.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to keep a main business number, which is going to be on your phone number and on your business cards and any of your pamphlets,
Mm-hmm.
right? But anything that goes goes external to that, like flyers to real estate agents, or any kind of ad that you're going to be placed, like your Google ads, like billboards. If you do billboards, you shouldn't, but if you do, any kind of ads that you do to real estate agents, you want to be able to track and find out where it's coming from.
Okay.
That way, by knowing your numbers, then you'll know where you're wasting money and where you're actually making money. And then by knowing where you're wasting money, you can get rid of that, right? That avenue, and then build up to the places that are actually bringing in the revenue. Does this make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Now, one thing that you should do, and I made a video about way back, like 3-4 years ago. It's called my realtor referral machine, or something of that nature, right? And it's basically, whenever you do a move for a realtor, you really want to talk to the customer and find out who their real estate agent was, who their mortgage broker was, find out who did the inspections and stuff like that. Find everybody that helped them with the real estate. Get all their names and phone numbers, business cards if you can. Then when you're done doing the job for the customer and they're very, very happy, you get out your phone and you just do a simple video testimonial. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes, however long, right? Download that, right? Store it on the iCloud or whatever. And then you send the real estate agent, the mortgage broker, everybody, the inspectors, and say, hey, just wanted to let you know that I moved this guy. Here's what he has to say about his move, right? And that one, if the real estate agent gave you that referral, it'll validate them that they sent you to the right guy, right? That they, wow, right? 2, it'll increase. The more you keep doing that, the more this machine will build up, right? And then they will tell their other colleagues, their other real estate agents, their other mortgage brokers, and everything about how Karsten, Kinetic Movers from York, Pennsylvania, is just killing it. And then you just build up this machine.
Awesome. Cool. I've watched that video before. I will rewatch it. I took some of these notes down, so cool. Thank you.
Good. So now that you're doing that, are you doing any kind of loads and unloads? It looked like you are, but are you doing unloads for major van liners?
No van liners yet. We've done them for like shipping containers overseas. We've done a few where they've contacted us, like you ship, I ship. It was a couple of different ones. Definitely haven't done any van liners yet. We've had, other moving companies from like I have a buddy that owns multiple locations down like Myrtle Beach, and he always hits us up to help with an unload that if he's sending up our way.
Okay.
But yeah, no vanners.
All right, no worries. Very good. Now another place that you might want to look at, and there's a lot of groups in the Facebook. There's a lot of Facebook groups for labor people that can really, if they know what they're doing. Like, you got to really know your shit if you're going to get in with the van liner. You got to know how to use the pads. You got to know how to use bands. You really got to know how to load a truck, like really super tight and make it look pretty.
Yeah.
And if you know how to do that, you got to be up to their standards to do that.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You just got to be willing. But if you get in with these groups, then as the owner of it, you can actually get hired by these areas that come within your vicinity, your demographic city, and get hired, especially in the summertime, get hired by them to do it. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to do it as a company, then you've got to make sure that when you go there, that the van liner doesn't pay the crew separately. Because sometimes they'll pay every crew member separately. But you can get up to $200, $300 per guy.
Okay.
Right? But if you do it as a company, you can have the guy pay you directly, right? You can have it set up with Venmo, Cash App, or cash. They'll normally do it by cash. Yeah. But you could get paid cash by them, right? You could give them a receipt, and then you could pay your guys out of that, their cut, right?
Sweet.
Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
got to.
So definitely look for doing it as a company then,
It's
as
going to
our
be
as
harder
Kinetic
to
Movers.
do it, but yeah, you're going to
Okay.
have to be the guy that sets it up. But just know that they're going to pay you like the drivers are going to pay per person. Okay. And the
Okay.
going rate is around $200 for most moves.
Okay. Nice.
But if
Nice.
you're on the job, then you collect that money directly. Or if you're not on the job, when you set it up, you say, hey, look, can you pay by Cash App? I don't want you paying my guys. Pay me through Cash App or Venmo or whatever, and then I'll pay my guys. It's gonna take a little bit of negotiation. Some of them are gonna balk at that, and they'll resist against that because that's not normally the status quo. But it's a good way for you to try that out and see how it goes. But that's one way to increase your income by $50,000 to $100,000 per year.
Awesome. Wow.
Gross.
So awesome. Van line groups.
Now,
So just
I wanted to say that you mentioned earlier. You mentioned that your payroll is about 40%, and as a labor-only company, that's actually not bad at all because you have far less overhead than a licensed full service moving company has.
Okay.
So most of your overhead is going to be in marketing and then some of the equipment, right?
Correct.
So, and so you could really get away with, it's not ideal, but you can get away with a 50%. So 50% being payroll, 50% being operational profit.
Gotcha.
Just be aware of that.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
Now, I'm just blown away. You guys, $250,000.
Yeah.
Now, how many jobs are coming to you from your website? Do you know?
I mean, I don't know what the percent. I mean, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I'd say the majority are coming, directly from Google and our website. So just people searching moving companies.
Okay. So you just need to tweak up your marketing a little bit when it comes to the Google ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Network a little bit more outside of the movers that you network with. That's good. You want to continue doing that. You want to expand your network. So that's awesome. I mean, you're doing great. Now, what is the population overall in York, Pennsylvania? Where are you guys, like near Philly or Pittsburgh or what?
So we're about an hour and a half from Philly. We're closer to Baltimore, actually. We're probably about 45 minutes north of Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
So we'll do jobs out in Baltimore and all that. Let me look. York is a small population, but
yeah, I saw that it was out there in the Goonies.
Yeah, it's definitely a small population. From 2020, it was 44,800, the population.
Okay. So then you might want to increase. Now, do you guys do stuff in Philly at all, or is that too far for you?
Not for, so, I mean, I say we're labor only. We've definitely, been doing full service moves, kind of watching how we do them. But, we've done a few long distance ones. So, if someone was like, we've done them to Philly, where someone's like, moving from York to Philly, we've done them. Usually not to start out unless someone called and it was like, the price was, if it was worth it, we would. But no, we're not getting people from Philly calling us, but we've definitely done, we'll go out that way for sure.
I'm a big proponent of being licensed and insured if you're going to do full service moves.
For sure.
I'm not saying that I'm perfect and that I didn't do it unlicensed and uninsured, because I did. But I did it because of ignorance, not because I didn't know better. Right?
Correct.
So all I'm going to say is I'm not judging you, but try to get licensed and insured if you're going to do that. Because if something goes wrong, you could literally lose your company.
Absolutely. That's so we watch, we've definitely done them a few times. And I'm fully aware that, we're not supposed to. I kind of pick and choose ones, where I'm like, okay, we could do that. But I actually just turned down a job. I told this lady we were going to book her as a big job, it was a 2-day pack job, moved from York, PA to St. Louis, Missouri. area. And honestly, I was just, I didn't send her a contract yet. I said yes. A few days later, I was like, hey, we're not, we can't do this move for you. Just because I don't know, I had a feeling. I'm like, we don't have cargo insurance. We had it for a short time. I'm in the process of trying to get cargo insurance. My goal is to get licensed. I was really trying to do it when we first started, and then realized I might have been jumping the gun. I know from like fellow owners I've talked to, like my one buddy, he's licensed and insured. He's down in Myrtle Beach. He has a location up this way. I think he has like 5 locations. I was kind of asking him, I was like, should I not be doing these? And he's like, dude, run wild until it's hard. He was just like, do them. He goes, watch how, he goes, I would do them. He goes, I ran wild for 2 years until I was able to get licensed. I don't know, but I definitely try and pick. I'm not trying to. My goal is to become fully licensed. Yes.
I am not. Again, I've done it too. I was a road mover, what they call technically a road mover.
Correct.
I'm not making any judgments on it, but my recommendation to you is to go and get legal as fast as you can. If you're going to do them, be smart, but just there's a lot of risk there. If you're going to do them, just so you got to be, if you're aware of the risks and you're willing to take them, fine. A good way to work around that, and this is a really in the gray area. I mean, it's in the really gray area. And again, I'm not advocating it, but one thing you're going to do if you're going to do a long distance move is that you get the customer to rent the truck under their name, make sure that they get insurance, right? And that it's in your contract that, yes, we'll drive the truck for you, right? And we're going to charge a certain amount for our time, right? But you're 100% responsible for any damages and stuff like that during transport and stuff like that and so on. Just make sure it's in your contract and you go over that with them,
yes,
right?
Sir.
And say, hey, look, I'll meet you at U-Haul, I'll meet you at Penske, I'll meet you at Budget. We'll take the truck. You got to hire, you got to do it, and it's got to be under your name, kind of thing. Does this make sense?
Okay. Yes.
This will help protect you. And if it's in your contract that, hey, we're not liable for any kind of damage, due to accidents or anything like that while we're driving, that's on you. So you got to have your own insurance and take insurance out, thing like that. And then make sure your customer knows why you're doing it, because although you do not have to be licensed insured to be a labor only, you should be. You don't have to be. You could do the load and unloads, no problem. Actually, driving the truck for commercial purposes, technically, you're supposed to be licensed and insured. Again, that method is very, very, very gray area, almost to the point like it's over the mark. And again, I'm not recommending it. I'm not advocating it. It's just one thing you could do. I understand.
Okay, so.
But if you get $250,000 in this year, you should have been able to put up quite a bit of money aside into the bank accounts to be able to get yourself licensed and insured for this coming season, or even the next. Or maybe you need another season to do it, but you should have been.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let me ask you this very personal question. Are you guys paying yourselves?
So what we've been doing, we're paying ourselves. We're kind of like so what I do is I calculate everything from every job, and we put, we take out all the expenses for laborers, whatever other cost. And then whatever's left over, then we take 30% of that out, put it into the business account, and then we split the remaining balance 50-50 between me and her. Okay. And then we just kind of, what I do is I just kind of keep log of like each day what we made. And I don't know, I might pull out like every couple of weeks, once a month, something like that.
Okay. Well, out of the money that you make, you're taking 20% for your guys' personal income. So hypothetically,
correct.
You've made $100. I'm sorry, $1,000 job. Hypothetically, you get $100, she gets $100.
Correct.
That sounds like pretty good if it's working for the two of you. I haven't heard from her. She's just sitting there, but she's on.
Sorry. I know. I'm just listening Karsten's I'm a little more shy, I guess you could say right now. So
it's all good. Okay, good. So how much money do you guys have put away then in a bank account? Out of that 30% that you use for the business that you're putting back in the business, how much of you have actually, what's the percentage of that you've actually put into buying a truck, getting licensed and insured and all that? How much have you done?
I don't know. So like, I know what we have in our bank account right now. I don't know what the percentage is. I know recently, we just bought a work vehicle, with our business expense, an SUV, because my other SUV was breaking down. So I actually a Ford Explorer. And then I remember you saying you started out with a Ford Explorer. So yeah, so we got a Chevy. We just bought a Chevy Trailblazer. We actually bought another work vehicle for the guys to use to run jobs, because we were running into an issue when we first started. Was like, all the guys had licenses, but no one had their own vehicles, and I was pretty much running to every job in my, with the guys running every single job. So we bought like a small 2003 SUV, and one of our crew leads, he uses it to go to and from jobs and for personal, but he never says no to a job. And then the Explorer, I just handed over to one of the other guys too, for him to use it to run jobs with. And then I got the Trailblazer. We just bought a trailer. So yeah, we've bought 2 work vehicles. We bought a trailer. Been using that for like doing mostly like hot tub jobs and junk removal and stuff like that. And then yes, I mean, right now in our account just definitely went down a lot, but there's like expenses that we kind of made personally to kind of help some of the guys and stuff like that. But I mean, right now we got about 20,000 in our business account right now.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. What I would probably do if I were you, just because of the economy and the where it stands right now, it's not a great economy. Prices are going up. You can't buy a used truck anymore for what you used to be able, a decent used truck. So you're going to probably have to double. So my suggestion is that I would suggest that you try to double what you have minimally into the bank, what you have this next coming year. Based on you only have 20,000, which is a good for a moving labor company. That's a good nest egg. That really truly is. My suggestion is stay a moving labor for this next season, this next coming season, and then build that minimally up to 40,000, that bank account that you've had saved up. And then at the end of the moving season, then you can start looking to go buy a nice used moving truck, right? Ideally a 26-footer, and then go get yourself licensed and insured, right? Use those funds, because you're going to probably need about $2,000 to $3,000 to get yourself insured to start off, and then you're going to want to get it decaled and your DOT numbers and all that. And getting licensed is not a DOT number. You can get a DOT number if you have a pulse, so it's not hard.
Okay.
But if you want to go out of state, you got to go get what's called an MC number, a moist area number. That's $300 unless they raise the prices here recently. They may have, but that's typically around $300. So other than insurance and the buying of the truck, that's your biggest expense in getting licensed.
Awesome.
If you haven't got it, go get my book, Who Sells Moving Insurance. You can go to whosellsmovinginsurance.com. It's like $20 for the book, but it gives you all of the top 8 agents that sell moving insurance, as well as the insurance companies themselves. Gives you their names, their phone numbers, emails sometimes. So you can do that. Plus it gives you, there's a, at the back part of the book, it tells you how to go get yourself insurance, especially if you do not have a moving truck right now. Right?
Yeah, I will definitely order that, because I've been seeing that. Because I know we have basic liability right now for us. And honestly though, like, to be truthful, I literally just called our agent the other day just to make sure, like, I'm like, we got it. I was just like, okay, cool, we got our insurance. I took his word for it. But I'm like, I really don't know what this is covering. I really don't. I had to ask him a few questions, because then I just watched one of the videos on on it where I think you guys spoke about like the Baileys, you know, insurance, then of course the cargo, and then different forms of liability. I think there was 2 different types of liability I heard you guys mention, and I was kind of asking the agent, and he didn't really. I asked him about the Baileys, and he said it was for cargo, because I thought the Baileys was for like if we damage stuff while moving as well. That covered stuff that was not in cargo.
For cargo, but it does cover like households and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's good that you've got insurance, and that's a good thing, because then when it comes time to actually get the insurance, like cargo and liability insurance for the truck, etc., it's going to be easier for you because you will have established credit and timeline of being in the insurance. So make sure you're paying on time, and pay like $5 extra or over. So if it's $127, I'm just making this number up. $127 a month, pay $130. You see what I'm saying? Just pay a little bit extra, and then that'll set up like good credit for you. So when it comes time next year, it should be a snap for you to get that insurance. Okay,
awesome.
So you're doing good. So that's great. Now another personal question.
Yes.
How are your guys's? Are you guys equally yoked to the company, or is it completely, utterly under your name? How's the business? 50-50?
Yeah, the 50-50 on the LLC, yes.
Okay, good. How is your guys's personal credit? Is it good or bad? Don't give me numbers.
Hers is better? Oh, yeah. Mine's not, yeah. Hers is good, mine's bad.
Okay. You need to fix your credit then. That needs to be a priority. Over this next year, fix your credit. Okay. However that means. That means doing a debt settlement, do debt settlement. If it means debt consolidation, do debt consolidation. If it means bankruptcy, do bankruptcy. But fix that credit. Okay? You're going to need the credit, especially when you try to go buy trucks, etc. You want to be able to leverage your credit and your income. Not only that, to build business credit, especially as a new company, you're going to need to have good personal credit, right? Okay. So another thing you should be doing too is when if you can, go get a business credit card for fuel, right? Under the company's name. Use your EIN number, which you should have gotten if you got an LLC. You should have given you an EIN number. So go get a credit card for fuel card to fuel up all your stuff. Again, Alexandria, knowing this book and following this, you'll be able to get this stuff done. And if you go over this next coming season and you build up your credit, at the end of the moving season, you guys should be really rock and rolling. Okay. So really go and follow this. I know it's boring and it's all about mathematics and accounting, but you got to force yourself through it. Go through it like 3-4 times, highlight things, and actually apply it. I know it's going to be like a snooze, but you got to do it. You got to know your numbers. The key to a successful business and scaling a business is knowing your numbers. Bar none. You've got to know your numbers. Okay.
Cool, Jay. I like I said, I really appreciate your time, and thank you, because this video has been very helpful to kind of for both of us to go from where we're going to go now. Kind of gives us a little more structure and got some good information. So yes.
Not a problem. I was glad to do it. Thank you for allowing me to interview you and pick your guys' brains. And this is going to be very helpful for guys when I put it on YouTube. So look out for that. Say, hey,
cool. Awesome.
And I appreciate all the wonderful things said about me, and I want to make sure that the wonderful things are said about you guys. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
You guys have great holidays, and hopefully we'll do this again.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.